This is the Post1960 podcast. My name is Lad Francois, and I have my co-host here, Kayode,
Hi, guys.
as always. And energy, please.
So,
That's going to help
yay!
me. We have loads of people here, and today we're talking the death of a Nigerian dream. And remember to follow us on all social media platforms at Post1960podcast, Instagram, Twitter, and make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel. And yes, you can catch this podcast anywhere you want to catch it, but make sure you subscribe on YouTube and watch, share, like, comment.
Nigerian dream is to obviously be successful, but to the general public is to jackpot.
Our problem started at the moment where we decided that we wanted to be like our colonial masters.
For now, with the way that things are in the country, I recommend leaving. And then if you want to come back, when you've made it, do that.
The low average Nigerian still want to go abroad and live as a third-class citizen.
I don't have plans on jackpot.
Man, Kaide, what's up?
I'm good, man. So this last episode was great. A lot of feedback from everyone. In order to prepare for today's episode, we did a couple of street interviews at the end of today's video. We're going to leave a description at the bottom, and there's also going to be a link where you can watch the street videos and get a feel of what people are saying about the death of the Nigerian dream and jackpot culture. We're going to get straight into it today, guys, and introduce our fantastic set. We have amazing people, and we're just going to talk about it. Remember, it's not a debate, it's a conversation. So remember to put your input in the comment section, and thanks for watching the show. So let's get started. Tell us your name, what you do, where we can find you, and yeah, that'll be great.
Okay, so hi everyone. My name is Fola Bumi. I'm your digital marketing girl. Everything digital marketing, you can reach out to me. My Instagram handle is @Fola Bumi. So yeah, that's it.
Excellent.
Oh, next. Oh, okay. I'm Yinka, architect by profession. The rest of my life is just a creative, so that's all I do, create.
Socials?
Socials, I think you should just look for me on Cave Dwellers. Yeah, I represent. We'll talk about that later. But Cave Dwellers, yeah, you'll see me there.
What's the handle?
Cave Dwellers.
Okay.
All right.
Okay,
Yeah.
great stuff.
Hi, everyone. Yeah, I go by Myra, but a lot of people call me Myra for short. My brothers gave me that nickname. Yeah, I'm a creative project manager for a media company. And yeah, you can follow me on socials. Find me at myra.lawal on Instagram. And yeah, I'm excited to be here today.
Excellent.
Hello, everyone. I'm Taiwo. Glad to be here. I'm an engineer. Not much to know about me.
Fantastic. So as usual, you're going to find everyone's handles at the bottom in the description below. So yeah, feel free to follow them. But yeah, let's get into it. So the death of the Nigerian dream. Do you want to take it from here?
Yes, each person should explain to you what you think the Nigerian dream is. What is the Nigerian dream?
Basically, okay, I'll answer that question for myself. Nigerian dream is to obviously be successful, but to the general public is to jackpot. That's the Nigerian dream, to actually leave this country.
For you, okay.
I mean,
so
I
Yinka.
actually get your points. Everybody's dream is to leave the country, but I don't want to do that. And with the way things are going, election, everything, I feel, yeah, it is killing the Nigerian dream, which is not to jackpot, but to make a thing or make a place for yourself. And with the way things are going, it's getting harder and harder and harder to do that. So everybody feels, let's go. We're going to do it there. So that is
you agree with
my own.
you agree with her?
I get where she's coming from. Yeah. So I do.
So that's your own definition of the Nigerian dream also.
Making a dream, making a name as a Nigerian for myself everywhere in the world, not just in Nigeria.
Okay, interesting.
Yeah, I would say the Nigerian dream to me is obviously to be successful, but a lot of Nigerians and a lot of people now, with the way the country is, are trying to get or be successful in another country, maybe like the US, Europe, like make a household name for themselves, so that when they come to Nigeria, they can build off of that and make a more successful enterprise for themselves. So that's what I would say the Nigerian dream is to me.
Well, the Nigerian dream would be to be successful. Obviously, in Nigeria where Nigerians are truly patriotic. Nigerians are not patriotic, and I do not blame them.
I mean, given our topic, right, we said the death of the Nigerian dream, which kind of implies that whatever you guys have mentioned is dying. And I think it's unfair of us to assume it's dead. So for you guys, what you've mentioned, would you say it's dead, or do you feel like people can still achieve this dream?
It's possible.
Still possible.
For you,
for me.
you mentioned that you want everyone needs to leave. That's the dream for a Nigerian, to be a global citizen or just to leave. So you think that's possible for people?
I mean, so far they have visas. It's possible.
But why do I need a visa
Which
to have a
visa?
dream?
Like, you need to specify which country.
So far, you have a visa to maybe like, to US, UK, Canada. But I don't want to limit it to just those three countries because you can literally get a visa to any country. I have a cousin who lives in Australia, and I thought that was so random, but to him, that's where he needed to be to thrive. So people can literally find a new home in like the most random places. But for me, I think with the death of the Nigerian dream, one thing that people don't take into consideration is that when you leave your country, you're still going to have the same problems, but like in HD, if that makes any sense. Do you get like you have the same problems you had when you were in Nigeria, but you might just have a few better things, but it won't solve all your problems. And for me, I feel like being in Nigeria makes a lot more sense because you have your support system, you have your family, you have your friends. But if you're in a country where you don't know anybody, it's like, who do I turn to when I'm low? Is it every time I have to FaceTime? So it's not the same as having like a physical connection. So for me, like the Nigerian dream is actually really dead because like as a country where we're not together, we're not like, I don't know how to put it, but basically we're not thriving. We don't all have the same goal. Is every man for himself? Oh, I'm going to Canada. Oh, you're going to England. Oh, you're going to America. Oh, you thrive off there. You thrive off here. Instead, I feel like we need to come together and actually thrive together in Nigeria. Most countries that are developed now, look at somewhere like Dubai, for instance. When they started out, it was literally just sand. But if you look at Dubai now, look at how far they've come. You need to look at the bigger picture. You don't everything like Rome wasn't built in a day. You have to start small.
Yeah.
And that's the problem with Nigerians. Nigerians don't want to look at the future. They just think about now, what will I get now? It's like buying something from the market. You just want your change and you go and you forget that you even bought something. But think about it like, okay, I bought something. What will I use it for? How long will it last me for? Do you get something
great
like
point.
that?
Great point.
So my own is that as Nigerians, we have to work as a collective. Do you get?
To make sure the dream doesn't die, yeah?
Yeah,
Okay,
exactly.
cool. So, I mean, when you talk about like the basic needs of every Nigerian, because I think we're talking about like the broader picture, but I feel like the basic needs, can we all agree on the basic needs? So before you say a dream, that's like aspirations, it's kind of out there. But I think immediately in a third world country, everyone needs food, you need shelter, you need water, you need the basic amenities. And we're living in a third world country where rarely people have that. So, I mean, what would you say? Would you say that that is affecting the dream or the ability for people to aspire to, or to achieve the Nigerian dream, whatever that is for each and every one of us? You know, are there basic things that we lack that's hindering us?
You know, when the system has been made for you to think that you need to work harder to be able to get those basic things, it makes it harder for you to think outside of the norms. So when you're waking up every morning to do the same exact goddamn thing for every day of your life, you can't achieve your dreams. You can't. But the moment you wake up and you break out of that norm and you start, okay, actually, maybe I can do this. You start realizing that, oh, to be able to do this, you need to get this. To be able to get this, you need to do this, or you need to know this person. There's so many things that that don't need to be there. Do you get? So yes, we do need to come together and we need to find a way to ensure that the people are able to listen, not just about talking, and then they need to be able to listen and hear what it is you're saying. It's not those guys who are in front of the TV and promising us things that they never do. They just promise and they'll start and then leave you halfway, and then the rest of us are like, but you promised, and really it's not. It's not. It's not. Go on the streets, you give someone pure water, he'll be very happy that, thank you.
All right. So you mentioned something earlier about all man for himself. And you mentioned something about Nigerians not being patriotic enough. What do you think? At what point do you think, as Nigerians, we lost it? Because some time ago, the Nigerian dream was to go to school, graduate, get a car from the government, and you have a job waiting for you. So, at what point do you think we lost it?
Personally, I feel it was when we got into the hands of the wrong government.
I disagree with that. I'm sorry. To me, Nigeria's problem is the moment. Our problem started at the moment where we decided that we wanted to be like our colonial masters.
It's true.
Yes.
Okay, I have to agree with you on that.
Because if you look at it, the average Nigerian, the average African, if you look at it from way back, we had honor and we had a community. We were people that lived in community. I know growing up, you know how they share food and nobody's scared to eat from anybody's houses, and we all knew our neighbors. It started from the divide. If you want to know Nigeria's problem, that's where it started from. And that greed we did not have before. You had everybody trying to hustle to make it. Now, a lot of people think that Nigeria is, because Nigerians, we try to hustle, they go into defrauding people and all of that. All those traits are not African traits. True Africans. I don't know if you know about this, but before in the markets, they leave food there. You put the money, you put money down, you take what you've put money down for, and you go. There's nobody at the market manning anything. That's to tell you.
What year specifically?
This is from back in the day. This is like
Actually, I can attest to that. That still happened up until 2011 in Abeokuta.
You hear that?
Well, you just walk into the market and pick
not
stuff
like
that
walk
you
into
want.
the market. Actually, it's like
It's a market.
I know I've been to a market and
nobody would be there.
My grand aunt's stall at the market, and someone came to buy something from a neighbor and dropped the money there and left. And they're like, okay, just put the money there. Don't worry, she'll come and get it.
That's amazing.
And nobody will man the money, and they will find their money there. That's to tell you that we come from a time of, we come from a people of honesty and honor that had honor. But when you remove certain traits from people think it's all about the light issues, or you have to start from the smallest unit, the family. Sorry, the family. You have to start from the smallest unit. The family. The problem starts from the family. We had culture. As a person or somebody that represents a family, you will be scared to do certain things. And those were the things that guided us as a country. Yeah. But we did not know. Those were the things that guided us as a country. When you caution somebody enough not to steal, not to lie, to be honest, it shows on the country in a bigger scale.
That's interesting.
So when you take out all of that, over time, you see that the problem is not even what we want to talk about. Yeah. The problem is what they have embedded in us.
Okay.
Until the day Nigerians and Africans in general, I'm sorry to take this time, see each other as one, as family.
Yeah.
And we come together and we come back to a time where you can tell my kid to get inside, to behave, without me seeing anything wrong with that. When we can go back to that time, trust me.
So just to get your point clear, are you saying that the death of the Nigerian dream is the death of our culture? Like the cultural rules
what I'm saying to you,
that we lost tradition,
is that the death of the Nigerian dream started the day that we as Nigerians lost our culture in the in-depth of it. That is the day the death of the Nigerian dream started. But we still have
okay. Let's take a pause in a second. Let me just check the temperature with Maiwa.
No, so just to touch on your point. So would you say Nigeria also lost in a way its moral compass?
Exactly. That's the word I was looking for.
Yeah, just picking off of that, I said in a way, like I feel like Nigeria has, in a sense, lost a bit of its moral compass. Like the greed is definitely a big issue. Like that just shows like people just don't have no human compassion anymore. It's just basically like you said, everyone is out for themselves. It's I have to get it, you have to get it, you're on your own, I'm on my own. Like that's the mentality, and we're losing a little bit of our morality. We're not really thinking about the welfare of others anymore. We're just thinking about ourselves. It's just a one-man show, and the greed is a whole nother level. Like if you want to talk about the politicians and how they're just like leadership at the top, they're not really taking care of the citizens. They're just taking care of themselves, their families. All their kids are leaving. Like, all their kids are schooling abroad, schooling all over in different countries and building lives over there, even coming back over here and living as if they don't see anything wrong with the country, or they don't see anything wrong with, like, Nigerians here trying to, like, make something out of themselves. Like, they're just, like, in a bubble, in a sense. And it's crazy to me. So I really wish that, things could get better. I do have hope, because I feel like we shouldn't lose hope at all. We should always, like, keep that hope, burning as fast as long as we can, so that things can, eventually get better. Because I still believe that, with the right leadership and with, that moral compass coming back into play, that the country will progress. But for right now, that moral compass is, like, on a dead road. It's gone. Everyone is just greedy. They want to keep everything for themselves. The basic amenities, as you said earlier, like, they don't care. They don't care. They don't care if people have food. They don't care if people have water. They don't care if people have access to jobs, literally jobs. After, like, so many of my friends who graduated after school are like, what are they doing? They're not really doing much. Yeah. And it's like the government is not even thinking of ways to provide opportunities. As for me, when I graduated, or even before I graduated from college, I had internships that I could do, to get, experience in the field that I wanted to work in. And then from there, I have that on my resume, already building my resume. And a lot of our youth today, a lot of them are dreamers, they don't have that opportunity. So that's another thing that's, like, killing the Nigerian dream, like, really bad, access to a lot of opportunities. And a lot of people just don't care.
So you're saying there's no structure for the average Nigerian to climb up the ladder and, live a decent life and have basic things like food, shelter, and provide security for their family, basically. So that's really interesting. Do you guys have any takes on that?
I totally agree, because after spending 7 years doing architecture and coming out and someone is offering me 50K to do a job that they know a firm will collect 5 million for, I'm like,
I'll have to take on what he said. So I feel like that 50K is standard for any job, any creative job you do in this Nigeria. If you tell them I'm a social media manager, 50K, photographer, 50K, videographer, 50K, video editor, 50K. It's what is the obsession with 50K?
Last year isn't the worth of 50K.
Yeah, it's not.
It's not the same.
Yeah.
But they would not increase the wage.
Yeah.
If I ever hear 50K in my life again, I will actually deck somebody. Because it's like, why would you pay me 50? Do I look like I need just 50K? I need more than that. Thank you.
It's crazy. I feel like for employers, it's like they know for a fact they can get cheap labor. Because of the way the economy is, it favors people that have big companies, So it's like, why would they pay someone more when they know someone is hungry and can do it for less? So what do you think we can do? Like, I mean, do you look abroad? Do you look elsewhere? If you know that as a creative, you can't be paid, what's the next step for the average Nigerian? What do we do?
Well, I have a funny story to tell you, because I did look abroad, and guess what? They paid me 50K.
The same equivalent 50K.
Yes.
Sorry, wait. The person offering you 50K is the person a Nigerian?
They were a Nigerian living in Atlanta. And then, and when I asked them to increase it, they were like, okay, we'll increase it to 75. I was like, yeah, I handed in my resignation because I can't be doing that. Like, what is that?
So
Do you wanna call
recently
them
I did a
No, I'm good,
design
thanks.
for someone, and we've not even discussed the price and everything, but I'm like, okay, because I know you, yeah, let me just give you an idea of what the plan would look like. And I present it to you, and obviously I solved all the problems you could think of. Yeah. And then I now present you the bill, and then you send it to your people, and then they're like, this guy is a madman. Why is he charging us like this? And I'm like, yo, what I've billed you wouldn't even sustain me for the month. Like, because by the time you think of everything, paying your NEPA bills, paying fuel, like your car, feeding, and then me and I have dogs at home, I'm like, yo, this isn't going anywhere.
Your dogs need to learn how to start eating eba and okra soup. Please,
in this economy, man, it's an option. Certainly an option.
My dogs are ready.
Bro, you have to keep your options open.
Yo, my dogs are local bred dogs, but I'm sure foreign dogs in Nigeria eat more eba than my
I'm
dogs.
telling you, bro.
No, see, I can't even lie.
Bro,
On
there's
Nika's
no
dog's
lie.
birthday,
There is
right?
no lie. My dog eats yam. I've never seen a dog eat yam. This is a German Shepherd.
No, I think German shepherds do, like, They're
eat
that
local
dog that
content.
they
Oh,
listen to the
no.
owners.
Amala, Begiri. My dog don't be eating none
No, the
of all
German
that.
Shepherd we
kind
had
of-
too is similar to that. Like
Mine is a
Jack
butty
will eat
local dog,
anything.
man.
Huh?
Anything you give Jack.
And that's
Jack
a
will
lucky
eat
or
butty
anything.
local dog.
No, if he throws birthday party for his dog, the dog is butty, of course.
So I mean, moving forward, it's strange because like we're talking about patriotism, like we're not patriotic. That was the first point. Now we're talking about the economy. I feel like it's weird because when we flip it, right, like expatriates still come into the country and get first class treatment, and they literally enjoy the best. They don't have the Nigerian experience. For them, it's somewhere they can invest and really thrive in. So like, what's your take on that? What do you feel like? I mean, is that fair? Is that something? So, for example, let me just put it this way. I know for a fact that in the UK, like if you were to go abroad, or even America, if you go abroad and get a job, you wouldn't receive the same benefits as the citizen. So we're accepting you, right? Number one, the labor is not the same. You get paid less. So they don't compensate you the same. You don't get health. You don't get all of these things. And before you get that visa, they put you through tests. You have to do the American test. You have to like prove that you are benefit to the economy. But I feel like our guards is so down. Like any foreign
So
body
you-
with
you-
money can just
you-
come in
you-
and
you
receive
said-
5-star
I'm
treatment.
sorry, you said something now.
Yeah,
You said when they are here, they are called what?
expatriates, right?
And when we're there, we're called what?
Migrants,
Immigrants.
immigrants. It's different. It's
Bro,
so different.
you have answered this question by yourself.
An expert living in Nigeria or Lagos, let's just talk about Lagos. They enjoy more than anybody.
Life.
That's a fact.
They are Takwa Bay. They live in Ikoyi.
And-
They all have
You see-
nice
you see,
houses.
this is why-
not Awolowo
this is
Roadside.
why-
this is
Not
why-
Awolowo
No,
Road,
Awolowo
it's
Roadside.
Ikoyi.
This is why when I'm charging any international company, I'm charging you because I'm an expatriate to you.
Feel
Oh, yes.
the mentality.
I am. They talk
Yo,
about yes,
yes,
I've had companies
yes.
say, "Oh, your bill
Yes.
is too high." I know my worth, and I'm going to collect it if you can't pay. And I love Nigerians for that. We don't take shit from nobody.
Knowing our worth, we also know that some people would, a bank manager here in Lagos would rather be a cop, like
That's messed
be
up.
a janitor.
That is messed up. That is messed
be a
up.
janitor abroad.
That is messed
I know
up.
someone who his company did something abroad in America, and he was one of those who got visa to go to America. Bro is not coming back. Bro is a valet. He's earning dollars. Way more than he earns monthly.
But you know, everybody can say everything about Nigeria. We still know there's some perks of to being in Nigeria. Oh yes.
30 December.
No.
One thing that's
No,
done us
we
proud,
know, we know.
entertainment in
You're not
Nigeria has
paying-
done us so proud.
You know fully well that in Nigeria you're not being taxed the
Not
way
being
you're supposed to.
taxed.
I mean,
Taxes,
it is-
There's a lot of freedom.
This is
There's a
because
lot of freedom.
No. This is because
You're not earning
the
enough.
government too, they know that they are fucking up, so they
Exactly.
cannot tax you fully
Exactly.
enough.
That's what I'm saying.
Yes, they
Your
know they are
taxes-
fucking up,
Yeah.
so they cannot tax you.
Imagine going
well
to
enough.
Yanokpaja and asking someone in Yanokpaja, you people have not paid this money. Have you fixed the road?
And this is why I understand why some people have the mentality to jackpot, because it seems like even if you're paying all these things, you're not seeing, but it can be better. That's what I always argue for. It can be better. That's why I'm a patriotic Nigeria. It will be better because this generation that I'm seeing, this generation going into politics, and they seem and they look like they not. They seem and they look like these people seem and look like they want to work. They want to compete internationally.
Yeah, 100%. I agree.
So
Even the Gen Z that you just
yes,
mentioned, bro.
So due
everyone's
to that,
tech.
So due to that, it's looking like as if it's going to get better, and that's what I'm just going.
Yeah, so that was my point. So I'm saying that foreign investors are coming and you have expatriates coming because Nigeria is a fertile ground. So realistically, the problem is crazy, it's caused by us, but the solution has to be here as well.
I'm sorry. There's something I want to tell you.
Yeah,
Nigeria is a land of milk and honey.
100%.
Don't ever get that wrong.
Don't get it twisted.
I'd love to say that
I'm
in
just going to say
Yoruba.
one thing here. I'm just going to say one thing here. Nigeria, this is just one resource. Nigeria has enough gas. Enough gas. If we were to turn that to funds, we will have times 3 of what the United States has.
From gas.
Do your findings. Nigeria has free gas that is not being used. We've not even tapped. We know where it is, but it's not being used.
So who has it?
Nigeria. It belongs to Nigeria.
I
We
want
don't-
to
we don't
believe
have the
that there's someone
infrastructure for
in
it.
power
Okay, so wait, they
whose
they
leg
can't
is on it already.
they
Oh
can't.
yeah, of course. There's some worth of gas, but compared to what we're meant to be pushing out, we're doing nothing.
So, as we were talking about before, you made really, really good points about how fertile the Nigerian society is and how we're not taking advantage of all the natural resources that we have. It's really crazy because there was a documentary recently that I watched on BBC about how the World Health Organization has put Nigeria and some other African countries on a red list. Basically, it says that we suffer from something called the brain drain, and you're not allowed to recruit medical staff from countries on the red list. So it really says that even like Western countries are looking at us and they're like, yo, we can't, like these people are suffering so badly. Like the average Nigerian cannot be considered as a worthy candidate, even though they're still doing mass recruitment because it benefits them because they can get cheap labor and all these things like that. But what do you guys think about that? And is there any solution that, I mean, have you heard of the brain drain?
Of course, to me, so just as you have people with the brain drain here, which is not verified by anybody to me, it's the same way you have people with the same level of stress all over the world, everywhere. So it would be inaccurate to say that African countries or countries in Africa suffer from brain drain.
Is it inaccurate or is it like, I think it can be statistically proven because of the fact that we're third world nations,
Okay.
that the people that we can produce are
Okay.
not going to be as fit
Okay.
as a doctor or someone in tech that has 100% access to electricity morning, day and night. So as a Nigerian, when you wake up in the morning, there's so many tribulations you have to, like mountains you have to climb before you can get to work.
Okay.
Is there lights?
Okay.
Is there water?
Okay.
Do you get what I'm trying to say?
Okay.
I think this is the things that contribute to the brain drain.
I want to put a question to you. Africa was before anybody came here.
Yep.
There had been black people living and thriving. We did not have light. We did not have electricity, but we lived well and we did not have any brain drain. For you to look at a demography of people, where's the research? How many doctors have they opened their brains up to check this?
Well, I mean, okay, before I give you my point, let's go around the table and let's get a take on that. Because that's an interesting
Yeah,
point.
I think brain drain is just a fake name.
Yeah, it's a bit.
Just say Nigerians are stressed, and then when they get there, they look like they are stressed.
But do you
they
think
also
that
said-
stress has an impact on performance?
Yo.
Because it's not really, I don't
A
think it's an
lot of
insult. I'm
us-
just saying
a
that
lot of
they
us
don't have the
work
resources.
well under stress.
Yeah.
But as
Bro,
well,
there's stress
as well,
everywhere.
if you had,
There is stress everywhere. There's stress in Lagos.
No
There's
I
stress
like
in New
stress when
York.
I work.
Because
That's
stress
right.
to
I
me
don't
might
handle
be
stress
different
so well.
to you.
Yes. So how
Like
can
my
you?
stress is
I
not
don't
your
handle
That's why I
stress
stress.
well.
said, how can you put it on a level that only a certain people from a certain place are suffering from a brain drain? What is a brain drain?
I think the red list, if it does anything for me, what it does for me is it's a message to the leaders, and it's
swear.
saying that we cannot trust the eligibility of these people, like your workforce, because of the
Standard of
suffering. The
living.
standard of living isn't great. I don't take it as a personal insult to myself. It's from a recruitment point of view. Like, these guys are stressed. They probably won't be able to deliver. Put them out of that situation. They'll probably do great. In fact, they will do great.
They will.
We have so many examples of Nigerians thriving abroad. Do you get what I'm saying?
So let me
do
say
you wanna-
this.
Okay,
Even
okay, go
with
ahead.
that stress, we still thrive with everything we go through day in, day out here in Nigeria. So what
we're
makes
used to
you
the system
think?
already?
Exactly.
So what makes you think when we do go abroad and things are easier, we won't be as stressed as we are here? Do you get? So things will be
Productivity levels will be
different,
higher.
but you'll be higher. So they should look at it from another perspective. They shouldn't be like, okay, these people are stressed, we shouldn't recruit
Do you
them.
remember when I said, so for everybody has their own, in the sense that everybody has their own type of stress, what they see as stress, and every country suffers from its own. Everybody has what they see as mental break. Okay, where's the highest number of depression? Where's the highest number of shootings?
I was gonna ask you sorry. I was gonna ask you something also. Comparison wise, when they compare Lagos, what I've heard so far, Lagos is very busy. So is New York also.
Yeah.
So what is the stress like for you who live in New York? What is the stress level like in New York?
The stress level is high in New York, I will say, because New York is one of the like go-getter cities. Like everyone is coming to New York because they want to make it, or they want to like land their dream job, big six-figure
Just like
job, or,
Lagos,
Just like
yeah.
Lagos, yeah.
just like
Facts.
Lagos. But New York is like very fast-paced. It's like on to the next, on to the next, on to the next. Like if you're not moving with the pace, then you're gonna be left behind. That's
Wow.
basically what it is. Like
The
you have
same
to
as
move
Lagos.
with the pace.
Yeah, Nigerians
Yeah.
can thrive there.
Same as Lagos.
Nigerians can thrive.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm thriving
Yeah.
here. So it's like
Yeah.
Definitely.
I disagree with the whole.
Yeah.
Definitely.
comment
No, I think
about
it all boils down to
Yeah.
our leaders,
Yeah.
not
Like,
making things.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're not
Like,
making things
look
easier.
good. Yeah, not making things easier.
So I just
for
wanted
us.
to say something. So recently I saw a tweet about the worst cities to live in, and Lagos, Nigeria was the first.
But
That's wild. That is so wild.
But you know, hold on.
That's wild.
These are unverified facts.
No, it was actually. It was.
By who?
Verified by who? But
I can't remember, but
Yeah,
it
I mean,
was.
I think we need to get on that.
okay.
so. It was.
I don't like when people that don't live here be
Because
talking
even
about this
Libya
place
was on that
is-
list, and we were number one.
How
So-
are we number one?
Number one.
Libya is like
what
a
was
former
the
war
determining
zone.
factor?
How
What
can
was the
a- how can
determining
a
factor?
war zone?
No, what was the determining? No, that's what I
was-
think there ought to
That's
be a
what people
determining factor.
were saying. They
Nah.
were like a war zone.
No, but I feel like it's somehow fact, you know. Not that particular statistic. But like my sister told me the other day, well, not the other day, some years back, before I went back to London, I was like doing this, like I had a company, 360 Interactive Solutions. We were
Yeah.
really doing like virtual tours and stuff. And I remember all of the difficulty I used to face at completing one job. Like just, you have a deadline, you can't guarantee light, you need to buy, I remember my sister telling me, Alex, you know, things don't have to be so hard. Like when I got back to England, she told me, Alex, you know, you have to get up that mentality of you have to struggle and suffer and suffer and suffer. Like it affected
someone
me.
said the same
It
exact
affects me so bad. Like I wouldn't even spend money on myself. Like it was hard to like reward myself because I had already been mentally
So you see-
like programmed that,
Yeah.
you know what, you're not rewarded, and you know, you can't spend money on luxury things.
Nigeria,
You
I
can't
want
take
you to
care
know
of
that
yourself.
Nigeria
I feel like
and
there's a
Lagos,
real
in
change.
terms of business. This place is a mental training ground.
It's way different when you go to
It's
Abuja.
difficult. No,
It is.
See, that's why I say
But
every
that's
country
the thing,
has
Nigeria
their
is
own
bigger
difference.
than Lagos.
Hold on.
It's way
Hold
different
on.
when you go to Abuja.
The world at large, yeah, they have a system, and this is Nigeria, a different system from the whole world. Everybody says it. Everybody I've ever worked with, every so-called expert traits.
Nigeria is Nigeria.
Yes, Nigeria is Nigeria.
Can we also remove
It's-
Lagos from that? Like Lagos is Lagos.
Lagos is not the perfect representation of Nigeria.
No,
It's not.
So you
Like,
cannot. So you
just
cannot say
remove Lagos
everybody's
from-
working under stress. Everybody's brain damage. When you have cities that are not even filled up.
Okay, so
Yeah.
is there one city in Nigeria that they have constant light?
No.
No.
Or close to no light? Like close to no electricity breakages?
I mean, if
No.
if you want to take it as a whole, no. But if you look in the areas,
But do you have?
depends on the
places-
area you
But
live
when
also.
does,
Okay,
when does
so-
electricity
But you
determine
can
whether
base
our
off of
brains are
areas
damaged or
as
not?
a
No, the word wasn't damaged. It was the brain drain. But anyways, let's
Well,
we
okay,
spent too much time on that.
brain drain. Sorry, just before we go, where does that count? Because I want you to understand that I think they're only doing it from the demography of people that come from Lagos. If you say Lagos, I would understand. But to say Nigeria, it's a bit, it's off.
Bro, Lagos
But
is
let me
great.
just say one
The-
thing.
the- yeah, go on.
Sorry, just to off the point you said about
Yeah.
your sister. So I know someone who had like a business. I think it was a bakery, yes, and they needed constant electricity for their ingredients because the ingredients were not ingredients they could get here in Nigeria. Do you know that because of I think it was fuel scarcity at the time, and diesel was like a lot of naira, so they couldn't keep the generator on for long, and because of that, the business had to foreclose.
I know a company like that.
Shout out to a few people I know who hold things down and they are not ready to jackpot.
Yeah.
Shout out to.
Yeah.
Can we give a shout out?
Yeah,
A shout out to Toby Hamilton, by the way.
Yeah, Toby Hamilton,
Right.
my good friend. Yes. She will never japa.
So yeah,
Like, never.
okay.
She will never japa.
Never. These are people who want
Go and
to
come back.
like make it happen here.
Yes.
Really
I
make
can
it happen
proudly
here.
say that is one person I know.
I wish you can follow her on
That is a
Instagram, but her
patriotic
page is
Nigerian.
private. No, she shares everything on her story.
Oh yeah. She's
Well,
a
back to your point. Were you
patriotic
done
Nigerian.
with that
We
point?
should get her here.
Okay,
We should get her here.
Yeah, we should.
I'll talk to her.
let's get her on the show. We would like to have you on the show, Toby. Which camera am I looking at?
Okay. You
Toby
look at this
Hamilton,
one.
right?
Yeah.
Toby Hamilton. We would love to have you on the show.
We'll
Heard
love to.
so many fantastic things about you, and
But also,
we want you to tell us how we can survive in Nigeria and make us more patriotic and be like you.
yes.
How's that?
Yes, but my second quali, I still need it.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm still
But yeah,
not after her, but right beside her, I'm one of the most patriotic Nigerians you ever met.
Fist bump.
cool. So I mean, I think at this point we need to look at things that we could do in terms of looking at a solution, man. Like, I mean, that's the whole point of this show, is to identify the problems and find solutions if we can. It's all about collective responsibility as well. Is there something that we could do ourselves, or does it all come back to vote for a better leader so they don't steal our money and misuse our resources? Is there a practical solution? Or before we get into that, actually, let's identify some areas in which maybe the Nigerian dream isn't dead. Is there like a sort of platform where someone, or a field where someone from a lower level could eventually rise up? Like, for example, is it real estate? Is it tech? Is it music? Are there any areas where people can actually thrive in this country? Let's start from Folabumi. Let's try and go around the table for this one.
I think basically tech and marketing. I think like you can really level up in those industries, because I know a lot of people who have done really well. So like you have businesses that have thrived, like Flutterwave, what's this one
Piggyvest.
called? Piggyvest, thank you. Carrywise, what's that one called again? They were a sponsor for Big Brother.
But fintech, basically.
Yeah,
fintech
basically
companies, yeah.
fintech companies, and you have like marketing agencies where they do digital marketing, not just for tech but for other industries as well. So like you can niche down, and you can even do like, say someone like Yinka needs digital marketing for like his business, I can do for him, or other people can do for him. Do you get? But I really feel like because we're in a digital age, we should really thrive off that, and tech and marketing, you can really do well in those.
Great. What about you?
Yinka?
Bro?
Yeah, well, you see, my field, yeah, I can't make money for myself. It really doesn't work that way. Whatever I do, I'm doing it for someone to make money off. Construction.
Yeah.
But no matter what I do, it's just going to be paper until the money comes. And then that paper doesn't come to me because of the people who are going to build and construct, yeah? So the way I feel it can work is the involvement. Instead of bringing expatriates outside and giving them the money, and then start bringing in gears that I start paying more money for those gears to be shipped in. Meanwhile, there's one guy who's around the corner who has a tractor that probably hasn't come on in the past 5 years, and he's just waiting for someone to say, oh yeah, Oga, put diesel inside this thing. Let's go and work. I can empower someone else by just telling him, Alpha, come. I need you to do something. Do this for me. The malam across my street, I buy something from him and I leave the change with him. And every day, money, Baba. Why? Because of how
Could
much
you get
change.
closer to the mic, please?
Yeah, because of how much change. And then I can go to him one round on day. I'm like, Baba, I don't get money. Give me this. And he'll give me happily. He would never ask, chairman, you never give me money for that one. Nothing like that. He doesn't have to be worrying about, this guy hasn't paid me. Meanwhile, I'm going to be sitting in the office. When will I collect salary? End of the month. Salary has come. Before the salary comes, I've already divided the thing like 50, like, at the end of the day, 5 naira doesn't come to me. I'm still waiting for the next salary. Bro, when I quit my job last year. I made more money this year. More money entered my account this year than I have worked in the past 5 years.
Can we just
Like,
take a minute and appreciate what God has done?
95 for walking alone.
Hey,
That's a whole
testimonies. I love it.
Why you haven't said 95? 8 to 6. You're forgetting it's 8 o'clock we resume. It's not 95. It's 8 o'clock you resume to 95.
We resume 9 o'clock.
Nah,
Oh,
you have to-
my industry is quite different.
Do you get so people who do the extra hours, they get home late, they can't rest, they can't enjoy the money. Weekend comes, oh, what can I do for the weekend? You already have to think of how to fix this, how to do that, whether your tap is running, whether water is running, whether this is working.
This is the living in Lagos,
This is living in Lake.
Yes.
Do you get? But
not the old
bro,
Nigeria.
bro, I will not lie. The life I am living, I know people are envious of the life I am living. Why? I don't know, but my packaging is right.
That's what sells in Lagos.
That is what
That's
sells.
what sells in
My
Lagos.
package, I may not be the richest person here, but my packaging is right, and no one gives a damn. Yeah. Oga, for anything for the boss. Get out. You know how much is in my pocket?
Fair
All
enough.
right.
So yeah, let's
Maiwa.
move to Maiwa.
Yeah.
Wait, just before we move to you. So, what did you identify as the area or the field in which you can grow? Or you're saying what your point was the best decision you made was leaving a 9 to 5 and being
Living in
self-employed.
9 to 5 and being self-employed, being by myself,
Freelance,
freelance, and I found through being a freelancer, I found people who were ready to work, and these are not people that I'll call
Work
them
with you.
work with me, and it's not a thing of how much will you collect for this? They'll tell me 20 naira, and I'll tell them no, I'll give you 5 naira. No, 20 naira, okay, no wahala. Clients, and when my guy says he's going to collect 25 naira.
The table
Are
is
you
big
gonna
enough
pay?
for everyone to eat.
You get? I don't shoot it to the extent that the clients be like, you bloody thief, what is wrong with you? And I'm now gonna give the guy 5 naira. Meanwhile, I made the 25 naira that the guy said he wanted to be paid.
Yeah.
No, give him his fair share. At the end of the day, when I call them, I'm like, yo, Alpha, I get work for you, but clients will not pay till. But Oga, no worry, I trust.
Yeah.
You build that confidence in them,
In them.
that respect, that trust. And that way, I do my work and I'll be Alpha.
Yeah.
Is the work done? Oga, no worry, no worry.
There's something about our
Good stuff.
generation. There's something
stuff.
about our generation.
Oh,
Yeah.
we just this
Yeah.
generation has just learned that
Like-
Yeah.
9 to 5 is not.
It's not it.
Other
So
than that, other than
It's
the
not
old
the way.
95 thing, it's been
No,
clear
9 to
the
5
table is
the
big.
new way now. It's like people. I've seen people like that are making money, like 6 figures, well over 6 figures, and are not working 9 to 5.
They're not.
They're not.
Content
They're
creators.
not.
Content creators.
But we're
What do you
working
do for a
our
living?
ass
I'm an
off.
influencer.
I'm an influencer. Yes, I'm an influencer. I'm on social
Well,
media,
I don't
TikTok.
work 9 to 5.
Yeah,
I don't.
I
work
mean,
9 to
because
5
9 to 5 is like
they
slowly
will never
dying.
pay me.
So, like, what are you saying? So you're saying the TikTok wave, the social media wave?
And
is that what you're saying?
leaning into that, the field I would say is arts and entertainment.
Arts and entertainment.
Yeah.
But don't you
music.
feel like it's really cutthroat? It's not everyone that makes it. I
It's
feel
not
like
everyone that makes it.
entertainment is a pool where a lot of people come and die, and then you see a few success stories, and it's like, okay, that's great, it works for you, but for the majority of people, they're not successful. Like for me personally, for example, music. Everyone wanted to be a musician. Some people left their careers, did everything until they want to be a musician. Some of my friends are still trying to be musicians till now, while other people have moved forward, into tech, into, even if you stayed in one company in the bank, you're promoted, you can take care of your basic amenities. But that guy chasing the music bag or the entertainment bag is still looking for it. So what's your thing about, what do you think? Do you feel like it's a pool where everyone can make it in entertainment, or do you feel like only a few people shine?
I think it's just the problem with the entertainment industry is it's all about who you know. That's the main issue that's like affecting a lot of people that go into it and want to like become successful and want to like make it in the music industry, whether film or music industry. It's all about who you know. Like if you know someone who works at this big studio or works at this big record label, who knows this artist or who knows this person, like that will help like boost your career and like get you to the next level. But if you don't know anyone and you're just coming in fresh, new to the scene, and you're like, okay, I'm gonna make it, I'm gonna do it on my own, you're not really gonna get that far. Like some people have like worked their way from the bottom up by themselves and have made it, but it's much more of a faster like lane to success if you know someone. So that's the issue that I would say is facing the entertainment industry, is the connection issue, because if you really know someone, you'll get a lot more opportunities than the other person. So I would say that's just the issue. But I wouldn't like knock it, because now, like, what is me as someone living in New York, in the wherever you call it, diaspora or whatever you guys want to, in the abroad, whatever you guys want to call us, the entertainment industry, especially the music industry, the way Afrobeats has taken over is insane. Like, I will hear Afrobeats from my apartment, like hearing out people blasting it on their speaker, like playing music. Like, a lot of American artists that are like huge stars now want to work with artists from here. Like, it's creating opportunities, and it's also allowing for tourism. Like, a lot of people want to come see these artists and come to Lagos.
Come to a concert in Lagos. I feel you. I feel you. DirtyDecember.com.
Like, a lot of people want to come, and that can help, with job opportunities for people, with, the way to boost the economy, also boost morale for people to, feel like, okay, I can go into this industry now knowing that, like, it's creating more opportunities for people. Yeah. So I would say personally, that is one lane that if I would encourage a lot of people to get into it, because it's booming. Like, even my company, my media company, they were even asking me while I was like, I told them I'm coming here for vacation. I'm not even trying to work, but I am working, but it's okay. They were even asking me, like, what movies are you seeing out there in, like, Lagos, Nigeria? Let us know. We want to acquire some new films, because their whole, like, we have a streaming platform, and their whole streaming platform is on foreign, thrillers, foreign movies. So they were asking me to, look out for, movies that they could reach out to and, get the rights to license it and stream it on their platform. So that's another avenue.
Hey,
can I have your number?
Hey. Just that mogul talk. I love it.
Well, let's have this
So I just
conversation
want
outside.
to add to what she said, because I do music marketing for artists and producers. So with that, I think it's not just connections, it's having the right marketing plans.
Yes.
Exactly, because like I've worked with a few artists, and I've noticed that a good marketing plan would either make or break your single or your project. So basically, how you put yourself out there, how you want the audience to perceive your music goes a long way. So like, you need your socials to be intact. You need your brand strategy to be intact. You need like your creative strategy to be intact. You need everything to be thorough. You can't just release a song, post on your Instagram page, post on Facebook, post on Twitter, and hope that you get streams. No. If I'm being honest with you, most of these things are actually bought. If you notice, like
Stream
Ruga,
farm.
the stream farm
Stream
with
farm.
Ruga.
Wait. What, they buy streams?
Stream
They buy
farm.
streams.
Stream farm.
I was
Yeah.
act oblivious, but tell me more, for real. For people that don't know, let's talk about
Let's
more.
not divert this. So, like,
I'm not
let's-
diverting, but like, with like the whole Ruga and Buju fight and everything, and Buju was basically saying that my streams are organic. Ruga, how will you get these many streams in like 8 hours?
Stream farm.
It's stream farming.
That's
what
a
it's
heavy
called.
accusation, and we don't judge people on this show until we know all
No,
the
I'm
facts.
not judging. I'm just
So
saying this.
we're
Stream
going to
farm.
investigate into that, but yeah, let's
But
move on.
basically,
I'm not saying
That's-
I'm a big
that's
fan
the
of
thing.
Ruga.
And things, most of these people don't even know what they want. An artist will just come and be like, oh, okay, I think I want to sing this song, and this is how it feels to me, but they don't know how they want to put it out there.
they don't like
They don't.
you need, because you really need to come up with a plan for them, and then it goes to the most mundane thing, to which influencer is going to be posting about it on TikTok, Instagram, Trailer, all these things. Like, those are the sorts of things that go on into like a marketing plan.
It's true, because like you can see like 10 seconds of a song blow, and the rest of the song is trash.
Yeah, and then
but it still
you've
has
never heard
great-
the song before,
yeah,
but you know those.
What's
10
that example
Okay,
that you told me about the
okay,
other day?
okay,
There was an
okay.
example of a song you told me about the
Oh,
other
there are
day.
lots of examples. in my head.
Song, Ijo Labala.
No. That's
I saw
great.
it.
That's
I saw
great.
it. No,
Please, that's my
I'm going.
talent song.
No, wait.
No,
I'm
no,
going
I will let
somewhere.
you
Wait
finish.
now. No.
Wait,
No,
let me
where
finish.
I'm going is- Where I first heard the song was on Snapchat.
Okay.
Those brief
Joe
10
Laba
seconds,
Laba.
10 seconds videos that people were doing.
Yeah.
And it's not even the song, it's what I saw. Like how whoever was presenting, dancing, that was what I saw, and I loved the song.
Yeah.
Do you get? So
Okay.
how you put it out there matters.
Now you
I
can
wasn't
talk
going to attack.
Defensive much?
No.
Jesus.
Hello, my views are being made by some people.
But yeah, that's great. I mean, so back to your point, I think you're right. If there's ever a time to jump into that sort of thing, like, TikTok, especially from the rise in COVID, like when COVID happened, we saw a lot of people that would have literally been jobless, had nothing to do, like come up with really cool comedy skits
I
or
think
make good music.
COVID opened
It opened-
everyone's
it opened a
eyes
lot of
to
doors,
see
so-
that, look, there are lots of stuff you can do
Yeah.
without doing a 9 to 5.
Yeah,
you
yeah.
can just be in your house and you get everything done.
So even for me, like COVID opened up my creativity. That's where I explored like doing skits, video editing, I used to take pictures by myself. I did like a whole backdrop with like a tripod and everything. I just like set up my own studio in my house,
Yeah.
took pictures and everything.
And you was doing like Instagram lives. I saw.
Please
So,
don't
like,
cancel me.
yeah, that
Please
was
don't
wonderful.
cancel me. Please don't cancel me. I think I'm one of those who want a 2020 back just for another reset.
Do you get
like,
me
let's
too?
just have another reset.
I need that whole
I think I need a 2020
quarantine
I don't
back.
think I want 2020 back. No.
No, don't cancel me. I just want a 2020
I
back
actually
for
need it
another
back.
reset.
I was saying that to my friend
Since
the other
20
day.
since 2020, I've not been able to go to a club.
Wow. Since 2020?
You're not missing
Because of
anything.
COVID?
I've not been able
You're not missing
to
anything.
enter a club.
You're not missing
that's-
anything.
It reset me in a way whereby I just cannot be around the amount of people that would be suspicious.
Suspicious in,
Yes,
in what
like
sense?
like 20 people in the club all standing and breathing the air into each other's
all
mouth.
exchanging.
Social distancing now.
I've not been able
But
to.
you would kiss a random fine girl.
God forbid.
You okay?
I literally
Okay, we're
said,
digressing.
I had to say God forbid. I had to say God
Yeah,
forbid.
but yeah. So we were moving to your point. I think you're the next person. What areas do you think would be, are thriving? That
So, you see, one sector that's very dead to me is the marine sector, and I'm in tears for it because this is a sector I grew up to know. So my father, my grandfather, are all marine, and
Do you want your children to be too?
hopefully, and this sector is a very, very powerful sector in Lagos, Nigeria as a whole. But in Lagos, growing up, I remember we used to see like different boats, ships, and all that, and it was a thriving place. The dockyards would never be empty. There's boats coming into Nigerian waters constantly because Nigeria is doing business internationally with these people, trade and all of that. But all of that seems to have died down a lot, It's not like before. There was plenty business going around back in the day when it came to, marine work and all of that. But I don't know.
so that's an industry you feel like has taken a decline.
It has
But are you
taken-
saying it's something that can
it has
thrive
taken
again?
a dive.
A dive. Okay.
But of course, it's a no-brainer. It can always thrive. It's people. Once you let people know that, okay, see, we are back. Our heads are working properly now. We are not. I'm sorry, but it's corruption.
That killed that industry.
Yes.
The nail on the head.
I'm
Beat it
sorry,
on the head.
but it is corruption, and I'm not sorry that it is corrupt. I'm not sorry. I'm not saying I'm sorry because it's corruption, because it's some corrupt people that did that. But it is the general system of corruption in Nigeria that has killed that sector. That sector used to be the sector.
I know back then, if anyone mentions Apapa,
Once
you're
you-
talking
Apapa
money.
was yes. You're not.
Literally,
You're
my
not
grandpa's office. is
You're thinking
opposite
traffic.
on that. Yeah.
yes, and this was a sector that was. When I say the sector, it was the It was the sector where everybody
wanted to be there. Apapa
wants to
was
do
there.
business with. Everybody wants to. You know fully well that anything that you're doing on water is times 3, times 4. Of course, it's lucrative business when it's on water, but now all of that is dead.
Entertainment industry.
Now the Nigerian maritime industry is. I'm sorry to say, but it is dead.
That's rest in
Literally.
peace, man. That's terrible.
Then another industry that has the chance, and this is something else I do. I'm into restauranting.
Okay, that's cool. Let's talk about that.
And I must tell you that I'm very disappointed by Nigerians that own restaurants.
Yeah, because let me just.
A lot of them. And let me tell you, and the reason why I'm disappointed is that, first off, you have so we all know this is not like a secret. We all know the Lebanese own the most of our restaurant industry. And trust me, I've worked with a couple of them, very beautiful people. I've worked with a couple of beautiful chefs and beautiful restaurant people that are Lebanese.
Yeah.
But with this, still, I still feel back to the death of the Nigerian dream. an average Nigerian or a below average Nigerian will still want to go abroad and live as a third class citizen or less.
Why? Because of what we see on social media.
No,
what
not
they
because
paint
of social
to us,
media, just
yes.
for the better life.
You are why? It's not what you see. Ask the layman
well, what
why
they
he wants
hear,
to
what
go
they
abroad.
see, but it's
We
for
actually
the
did an
better
interview
life.
about this. We did a street
Truly, yes.
interview.
Why do they want to go
And
abroad?
people are suffering. Like, so let's
Bro, they suffer
no.
everywhere.
So sorry. So for
No,
you,
suffer
no,
get
wait.
levels.
Sorry. So
No, suffer get
Pause.
levels.
You want to suffer in the cold?
No,
Be my guest. Do you
no,
want to
Wait.
suffer in the cold?
Hold on. Homeless
Plenty.
man, would rather go and be homeless because his own mentality.
Because he
is
doesn't
like,
know that.
Yeah, he does not know.
You cannot be
But his
homeless
own
in the
mentality
cold.
is like, I go there.
all right,
It's-
guys.
Can you be homeless in the
Listen. We can't digress from the fact that we're in a third world nation. I feel like there's so much to, with this topic, the Nigerian dream. We've spoken about the pros, we've spoken about if there's hope, if we've spoken about the structure. In closing, I think this is where I'm at now in my mind map. I'm like, you know what? Some people will never, ever, ever climb that ladder. The opportunities aren't here for everyone. So let's just go around the table and discuss. I'll just say briefly, would you stay here, hustle in the sector that you mentioned and thrive there? If not thriving immediately, would you continue grinding there? Or would you just say, maybe I need to leave and find an easier life?
The truth is, I cannot impose whether to stay here or leave on anybody else. But in my opinion, I know I will stay here because I believe I can make it here. And that is it. There's no two mindsets about it. This is me telling you I'm with Nigeria fully. I would never leave Nigeria.
When you run for a political post, I'd love to be one of your campaign managers.
I have the best interest of Nigeria at heart always. I always look for what is the best thing. So it depends. It's always about the way you think about the little things. If you want Nigeria to truly succeed, it's the small things. So I take a lot of pride in the small things that we do. Simple things like just getting my PVC. Just that alone, it's enough weight, to be a Nigerian. If you call yourself a Nigerian, yeah.
Awesome. Good point. What about you?
I already left. So I don't think it's fair to say that.
Do you want to come back?
I mean, yeah, I would come back. And the reason why I say I would come back is because the opportunities that I can bring here for people, because I'm all about, like, one of my main passions, one of the things I do want to do as I build in my career is definitely to help people and to give back to others, because, a helping hand, always goes so far. So I would come back and I would use the resources and the opportunities that I got from where I am, in New York. I would bring them here to, help utilize and help build for other people to have, opportunities that they unfortunately don't have here. But, I would come back, but I would go first. I would recommend you go first, because honestly, the opportunities you're going to get when you leave, they're mind blowing. Like, you can do a lot. You can do a lot as you're even building towards your career. So I highly recommend it. Nigeria is, it's a special country, as I like to say, but it is a great nation full of great people. But, for now, with the way things are in the country, I recommend, leaving. And then if you want to come back when you've made it, do that.
Fantastic.
So me, I remember 2004. Was in Florida holiday trip, and there was this wishing well that throw a penny and make a wish. My wish then was, I'd love to live in America. But reality hits, and I saw how messed up America could be, and then I was like, nah. And then I fell in love, which was never meant to happen to me. And person was like, yo, I've lived my life abroad. I'm coming to Nigeria and I'm like, whoa, Nigeria has opportunities. Imagine someone who's grown up and spent most of their life abroad coming and telling you that you guys have opportunities. I'm over there working my ass off, doing 3 to 4 jobs just to make sure I'm able to pay my tax, do everything, and enjoy the life I want to live. But you come to Nigeria and you're like, wow, it's not that stressful. it really isn't
That's
that
stressful.
stressful. No. Because you don't need to do as many things to make the money. And even when you do make the money, you can
Actually
enjoy the
enjoy
money.
your money. Yeah.
So me, I don't have plans on Jackpot. My wife can be over there and be enjoying that life, and she can be collecting the dollars. Me, I'll be here investing in the naira.
Do
I'm
you
cool
think
with
that
that.
is cool? Investing
no.
in the naira?
Oh, bro. It depends on what you're investing in, you know.
Maybe he's
It
not saying
depends.
investing in the naira, but investing in infrastructure.
In
So,
the
for example,
infrastructure, yeah.
money isn't great, but land
Yeah,
is.
but land is.
Businesses,
You get-
influences. So
There's
maybe that's what he
so
means.
many
Because now
things.
we're naira.
No, obviously, no. Let's
Yeah.
not look at the currency. Let's
Yeah.
not look at the currency. I'm
Yeah.
talking about investing
Yeah.
here in Nigeria. Like,
Quick question for you.
Yeah.
So when you said the wife, does that also extend to the children? I know we're wrapping up now, but
oh,
quick
the
question.
kids. I mean, I would love for them to be able to be like, I would like to go here. I like to go here, and it's not because you have a green passport, you can't go anywhere. Do you understand?
But, okay, you know what? In fact, I'm going to ask that question to everyone later on. Let's move to Folabumi.
Okay, so for me, I would actually stay because I actually was born and bred in England. And living there and then moving back here is completely different. So for me, being here was a lot nicer because I had a sense of community. I had like support system. I had my cousins, my grandparents, my uncles, my aunties, family, friends. Like we had it there, but it was always once in a while. So I only saw my cousins like during summer. Yeah, during summer or during Christmas. So I only saw them like once or twice a year. That's for instance. And in terms of like work, I moved to England late 2020. So that was like the second lockdown. And then I came back early 2021. So that's last year because I couldn't find work and it was ridiculous. I have a British passport and I still couldn't find work. I couldn't find anything to do. I tried to do remote. I tried everything, but nobody was hiring. So I was like, you know what? I'll just go back to Nigeria and I'll be able to thrive there. And I've actually made a lot of money now that I'm back here. I literally
Sorry, is that why you're wearing green today?
well, if you ask.
It's
I
kind of the
guess
reason why the
so.
theme for the set is green and white green, just to say, patriotic and stuff.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, that's wonderful. So last question. I'm so sorry. I know we're supposed to wrap up. I feel like it's not real if you say you would like to stay or you would like to leave. I feel like we also have to extend it to your children because he brought up a really good point. So round the table, just yes or no, really, really brief. So you said you want to stay. Would you like your children to be global citizens, to have dual nationality? For things like your wife giving birth, the benefits, medical benefits abroad, would you like them to have that access? Or would you say, as you are patriotic, they should stay here, have their medical here, their education here, everything here? So let's just round it up with that. Honestly speaking,
of course, everybody wants a more structured society. I'm patriotic does not mean I would not face reality that Nigeria is not as structured as it can be.
Okay.
So, but in your question, I would not force my patriotism on
your children.
From my wife to my children, I would never force my patriotism on them. Patriotism should not be forced on anybody.
Yeah. So in hindsight, would you structure your life in a way to give them the opportunity to have that option? For example, if you were to say, I could marry a wife with dual nationality and somehow she can go abroad while I stay here, would that be an option? And people do strange things. I'm not saying you would do it, but would you say, okay, I'll do that? Or would you say, nah, my babe should be Nigerian and I wouldn't even consider that?
And my children should be Nigerian.
Because it's all about positioning. Like they will either have dual nationality or not. So would you position yourself in a position to let them have that option?
Well, I'm hoping I find a lovely Nigerian girl to fall in love with. But if that became the case, like I said to you, I cannot force patriotism on anybody, including my children.
Yeah.
And if they had to travel to get the best medical care because we have not done what we are supposed to as a nation in terms of having the best medical care,
Yeah.
then yes, I will have my children go to wherever they can. Because you need to remember that we're talking about my children, you're talking about my future.
Excellent.
So the question I would ask you is, will you do anything to protect your future?
Absolutely.
So
but can you hear the contradiction in your statement though?
Okay.
Yeah, but we're going to get to that because we have to go around. But that's beautiful.
Yeah.
Do you have anything to wrap up quickly?
You said something about a contradiction in my statement.
Yeah, so you said, would you protect your future? And you're saying you would.
I said, would you do anything? I said, my children are my future.
Yeah.
And would you do anything to protect your future?
Yeah, but it sounded like you were insinuating that your future would survive better abroad.
No, you said it was for an incident.
Yeah.
If my child was sick.
Yeah.
You get sick, you get better, you get back to Nigeria.
Okay, so go to use their resources and come back.
Not to sleep, to stay somewhere else.
Okay, but the thing is, it's access, but we don't have any much time to talk about how they can get that access. Probably talk about that in the next episode. So let's move on to you.
I would say yes. I would want my kids, my husband, to have the same opportunities I was afforded, because I know what those opportunities can bring for them. And like you said, it's all about the future. It's all about the legacy that you want to build and you want to leave on this earth. And I want my kids to have everything, the world. So I wouldn't want to limit their resources and limit their opportunities. I would want to expand that and give them everything and even more than I can give. So I would highly recommend it. Yes, 100%. I'm not gonna.
And if they want to come back, they can come back on their own.
They can come back. Obviously, they can come back.
They already have a blue passport.
Yes, they already.
Awesome. So yeah, let's take it
from. We should know our roots. Like really, we should know where we are from. So even if the kids do go there, they need to understand that they were Nigerians before they got the green, red, whatever other passport color you can imagine. Oh yeah, me personally, if someone should give me Japan visa now, say yeah, go to Japan, I will go. But not because I want to go and be in Japan for the rest of my life. I just want to go and experience culture, see things and then come back, and then maybe I can just change this whole place and be like, this place can benefit from something.
Say traveling for exposure.
So go and come back.
Yeah, come back. Not live the rest of my life there and claiming what I am not. Now I'm thinking I'm not.
I'm half Japanese, half not.
Especially in Japan, you're never going to be accepted. Trust me, bro.
No.
All right, awesome. Follow me.
So yes, definitely. Without further ado, because I know what it's like to have both passports, and I have friends who only have Nigerian passports, and the way they're always lamenting about visas and all this, I'll not let my husband and my kids go through all that stress. So I'll be going through the British line, through immigration. They'll be going through the long line. We're like, oh, bye, see you guys on the other side. That's wickedness now. No, we should all be able to eat at the same tables.
Yeah. Great. Yeah. Someone said, when you don't have, money isn't everything, but the lack of money is everything. And I feel like it's the same with dual nationality. Like, it's not everything. You can be Nigerian, but like, not having it makes people do crazy things. But yeah, great.
Imagine me planning a vacation with my cousins, who most of them have dual citizenship. And then they're like, oh, we're going to this place in Europe. And I'm like, I think I need to go to the embassy first. And then they're like, well, our passport is just, we don't need to go to the embassy and get this and that. It's just, snap a finger.
Oh, that's just so that we...
It's the factor of good governance. Once you have good governance, everything will fall in place.
Yeah, great.
And then the dream would be restored.
So, yeah, we're all optimistic that the Nigerian dream can be resolved. We're all patriotic in different ways. And we all see the value of maybe going out and coming back. But ultimately, Nigeria is the way.
Okay, so I think we need to talk about the Japa culture right after now.
Next episode.
Yep.
But yeah, thanks so much for watching, guys. As we mentioned earlier, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. This conversation is extensive. No obvious solution for the second episode, goodness gracious. But perhaps we can continue it in the comment section. So please leave us a comment. Every single comment's getting answered. Wonderful, wonderful show. Thanks so much. And we'll see you in the next episode. Thanks so much, guys.
fire.